Hey everyone, welcome back to Moo, the 5 Reasons, Matthew Oliver's Moo blog. I am, of course, Matthew Oliver, the wedding planner, helping you create your fantastic wedding all over the world. I'm here to help you make your dreams come true. I hope you're all okay and having a good day. The weather's been, it's been okay today, but I'm not obviously a weatherman. I'm a wedding planner, so I won't talk about the weather. I'll go straight on to the post. So today's 5 reasons is talking to you about photography and what you need to look for when you're looking for the photographer, because it's so important, photography. I can't stress that enough, because you always want to remember your wedding day, because a photographer is going to be telling the story of your wedding in so many different formats, and without that story you're never going to remember your lovely day. When you're 80 years old, think of that, not remembering how it was and what it looked like, and showing your children and your grandchildren of your fantastic day, because it's going to be so different when they grow up. So it's really important to book a photographer. Photography comes in so many different styles, variations, and there's so many photographers out there, all fantastic and all very similar but very different because of their imagery and style. It's got to reflect your personality and what you're looking for, and that person for you, because you don't want to go down the wrong route and choose the wrong photographer. They could be fantastic, but they might not be the one for you because they haven't got the same personality and the same style that you want to create for your wedding. Also, don't go down the route of your friend helping you at a wedding, unless they're not professional. If they're a professional photographer, then that's absolutely fine. That's a great advantage for you, because obviously you'll get a discount. But if they're just a friend who's got a flash camera, please don't go down that route, because you'll be under pressure, they're going to be under pressure. There's so many different routes for a photographer has to take on the wedding day, and so many different styles and different timings they got to do their wedding. And an unexperienced photographer at a wedding can be quite dangerous, quite upsetting, and you're never going to be able to say bad things about them because they're a friend or a really good family member. So just tell them that you've got a photographer already planned. So the 5 reasons into what you need to look for when you're looking for a photographer is, number 1 reason is the imagery. Imagery is so important when it comes to weddings and your style, just because you want that perfect imagery from start to finish, and it's really reflecting your personality. The imagery could be like a black and white sort of theme, a sepia theme, a different style of your wedding. So that's what you need to remember and look for when you're looking at photography, is their imagery and if it's the one that you're looking for. Second reason is the pricing. There's you will be able to get a photographer for whatever budget you're on. If you're on a low budget or on a high budget, you'll get a photographer. So when you're looking at a photographer and you've got a low budget and you're looking at one that's really expensive, just remember to be realistic. So just remember to get the right photographer for the right price and your right budget, because you don't want to go down that wrong route and be disappointed at not having the photographer of your dreams at that cost you're looking for. Third reason is the style. Like I've already mentioned, the style of your photos is so important, and it has to reflect your theme, your personality, your image, and what you want to create for your wedding. So make sure you've got that. You look at the style of each photographer before booking the photography, just because it has to be right. It's so many weddings that I've created, or what I've seen, when they haven't actually they've looked at the photographer before, and the style of the photographer is completely different to their style, and it doesn't really work. You don't see the chemistry, you don't see the imagery properly, and it doesn't work. So just make sure you follow these steps and you look at the style. The style is the most important. There could be a villager who's a photographer, and they could be a professional modernized photographer, but you want to go down the route of a vintage photographer, but you book that one. Doesn't make sense, because your theme is vintage, but you're choosing a modernized photographer. It's not going to be the same effect. So just remember that. Fourth reason is their personality. Your personality and their personality has to match. It has to work together. They've got to be happy with you. You've got to be happy with them. Just because on the day of the wedding, you're going to be so happy and excited, and you're going to be so emotional, and there's so many different stages of the wedding where they're going to be the only ones with you and not other friends, because they might be doing some personal shots. So you've got to have that special rapport with them, and you've got to feel comfortable with them. Likewise, they've got to feel comfortable with you, and you've got to be very similar in personality. So that's the fourth reason. The fifth reason is their service. If you're looking for an all-day photographer, or you're looking for a couple of hours photographer, you've got to know that from what they're offering, just because each photographer comes with a different service. So look at the services, look at their background, and look at to see if they can create that wedding for you. Like I mentioned before in looking at suppliers, I would research about 3 to 4 photographers, all very similar in the style and the imagery, but obviously they're all going to be very, very different. Maybe meet them up, see what they're like, and see if you've got that special rapport, because like I said, that's really, really important. Anyway, that's me done with my 5 reasons. I do hope it's helped you looking for a photographer, and it will help you, you know, throughout your planning, because photography is so important, and you always want to remember your photography, and it is one of the most important parts of your wedding. That's me done. Ta-ta, and I love you all, and don't forget to like, share, follow. Love you all. Goodbye.